All right, welcome everybody around the world. Welcome to all my subscribers. First of all, I just want to apologize to my subscribers. It's been hard for me to find time to make videos and do my live streams lately, as I've already said for the last few weeks. I'm getting more opportunities now, but I'm just here trying to make a quick video when I can. So I don't have the time to sit back and talk at length like I would like to. So apologize for that. But nonetheless, it's important that I utilize any chance that I get in the meantime, like now. So, based on all the developments that we've been having over the last few months and even the last few years, and you could also say the last few thousand years, Earth is definitely on the verge of very big change coming. If we look at it geographically with the Earth and the environment, you had a massive 7.0 quake, which luckily didn't hurt anybody. I think it was in California. It was in the west of the U.S. We also have a word that underwater volcano will erupt today. Oh, not today. Sorry. Soon in the ocean off of the west coast of America, but it's not going to do anything. It's erupted like 3 times in the last 30 years, and it wouldn't even disrupt the surface of the water. Science has said. So that's not going to do anything, right? But the 7.0 magnitude earthquake, the fact that a mega quake could occur anytime in the West Coast, is a concern. The Earth's magnetic poles are shifting. Like, this is a verified scientific fact. Anybody can go look it up. It's not that they're reversing, but they have traveled quite a distance. Little things like this all add up. Obviously, the climate shifting and all the changes that we've seen, whether they're natural or part of climate change, whatever, the climate is changing in places tangibly. We have all these things over the last few years. All the storms, hurricanes, typhoons, and all that got a lot stronger. They're typically category 3 or 4 a lot of the time now. So you've seen all these changes happening around the world. So even just the planet itself, something big could happen. And I'm not saying it's, geographically it's going to be the end of the world, but there are big things happening, and big things could take place geographically. The other thing that we have is these war tensions between Israel and the other nations, which, as I've said, are exactly what Ezekiel foretold in his famous prophecy of the end days and when the end days would occur. We have, so in terms of nations and war, we're right at the time of the end days. And even if you take the Bible out of the equation, these type of conflicts could escalate into nuclear or whatever. And I don't get into saying China and Russia are going to do nuclear war, but everybody always talks about that. I would like to give Russia and China credit that they're not that ignorant that they're going to go start a nuclear war. They mostly keep to themselves anyways, mostly. They don't go out and infringe on the rest of the planet, is my point. We all know about the Ukraine war. I'm not denying that. But there's all these rumors of wars and disasters and actual wars and disasters taking place. And Jesus said all of this would occur. But he said it's after all these things occur that when the end will come. And he said the one indicator that you're in the generation when the end will come is if you see Israel reborn. Israel was reborn in 1948. 1948 was right at the end of the world wars. And the Second World War, Judaism, they tried to wipe out the members of Judaism. Okay? These are very pivotal times in human history. Also, at that time of the Second World War is when UFOs started showing up. All of this ties into the prophecy from the book of First Enoch, which I talk about in my book that's available on Amazon around the world. I believe I'm the only person who has discovered this about the prophecy of First Enoch. The time period that's described there, my understanding of it and the way I explain it is 100% legit. It's correct, and I haven't seen anybody else mention it. But this prophecy about 4,900 years, it tells you when to take the measure from, which is what everybody else has missed. But I pointed out with the numbers in the book, it ends in 1948. And that prophecy is arguably highly related to all of this stuff. And in 1948, the fact that UFOs start showing up goes right in hand with the the Enoch prophecy, like I mentioned in the book. So we have reason to believe, based on that prophecy, that the imprisonment period for the fallen angels ended in 1948. So one could not be blamed for believing that they might be revealed or start revealing themselves after 1948. Well, we saw these UFOs showing up and extraterrestrial beings starting to arrive around that time period. So it's lining up with the first Enoch prophecy. It's lining up with Jesus's prophecy. Israel would be reborn. You have to remember, when Jesus said this, that was about 2,000 years before Israel got reborn, right? Nobody knew Israel would be reborn, but it was the prophets of the Tanakh foretold Israel would be reborn one day. Ezekiel said that Israel must be reborn and the people of God return to the land of Israel to live in there before the end of days arrives. So the fact that all those things have taken place with the World War, which led to the creation of Israel again after the end of the Arab War in 1948, tying in with First Enoch's prophecy and also the arrival of the UFOs, some of which are fallen angels, not all of them, right? All of this ties together and triangulates together. But also, more importantly, as I've said in my books and in my videos for 8 years on YouTube and 4 years with my 2 different books, that 2024 would be the final year according to the biblical prophecies. And the biblical prophecies, such as the one from Daniel, as I go through in the chapters of my book, one of the hinge points is 1948. There's exactly 1,260 years from when the Dome of the Rock was erected on the Temple Mount, which was foretold in the prophecies. Exactly 1,260 years. During this time period, Islam, as the final beast kingdom, ruled over Israel. These are things that almost everybody in the world has overlooked. Very few people have ever even considered these things. I believe I'm the only person who has cracked these prophecies. I probably am the only person who has got them published and copywritten around the world in my books, right? But more importantly are the numbers, right? So in 1948, according to the prophecies, the beast kingdom, Islam, would lose its dominion over Israel. That came true. So in 1948, Israel was reborn. So we have Daniel's prophecy being fulfilled, the other prophecies in the book being fulfilled, first Enoch's prophecy allegedly being fulfilled based on the visual evidence with the UFOs and everything. We have Jesus's prophecy coming true, and all these things are coming together in 1948. Ezekiel's prophecy, everything is coming together. According to Daniel, there'll be 75 final years to take you to the 1335th year. And based on the maths, that would be 2023 to 2024 would be the final year, okay, due to year flux consideration. Because an event might take place in the January or December of a given year, so you have to allow for a range of flux of about 12 months. But now that 2024 is past, we're in 2025. It's only been about 3 or 4 weeks of 2025. According to all these prophecies, we are right at the door, right at the brink of it occurring. Jesus even said, when Israel is reborn, it is nigh and at the door. So it has been at the door since 1948. We are in the final generation. Even Psalms 90 says that the final generation would only have 75 to 80 years. It'd be more than 75, it'd be less than 80. So we are definitely in the time period for this happening. Jesus, as I went through in my books here in other chapters, some discoveries that I made that I believe nobody else in the world has. At least they haven't shared them, and they certainly haven't published them like I have. But Jesus said in numerous places, such as the prayer of Gethsemane and a few other places, links over to a prophecy from Isaiah as well that I cover in the book. But there will be and Hosea, it will be 2,000-year period, okay, from this point with the Messiah until the end of days. That again puts us right at this time period. So we have so many reasons, okay, and I cover those aspects over many chapters, right? There is more than enough scriptural reasoning to believe that we're in the end of days. We look at the world events with the wars, that's right in line. If you look at the climate and the world and disasters, that's right in line. And those things will build up until the end, unto the end days events, according to what Jesus said. So everything has fallen in place. Everything spoken of and foretold in the prophecies has already occurred. 99% of all the prophecies have been fulfilled already historically, as I keep saying. We are literally only waiting for the Messiah to arrive. That is absolutely it. And the Bible says that when the Messiah arrives, he will be coming with the legions, the armies of the heavens, with the celestial holy messengers, with the celestial messengers. It's up to God whether they're called holy or not. And they are due to arrive. Jesus says, when you see the stars coming down to the earth, you know that the end has arrived. That was his response to the disciples when they asked him, how do we know when the end has arrived? Okay, he said that all these things would transpire, the wars, this, that, there, over so much time, revealing himself in Revelations that this would be a 2,000-year period in numerous places. All of this stuff has transpired. Even the stars, which represent biblically, they represent in the Bible, that term stars is used, such as from Judges 5:19, if I have the verse correct, and in other places. Stars is the term used as a metaphor for celestial messengers, for the angels. Okay, so when we see the stars coming down to the earth as the sign that it's the end, that is when the messengers come down to the earth. And over the last 2 or 3 months on earth, we have seen what look like stars, which are UAPs, unknown craft piloted by unknown beings. Whether angels or fallen angels, it's entirely 100% legitimately possible. And they have been appearing around the world. They've appeared in my country, probably on every single continent. North America, yes. South America, yes. Europe, yes. Asia, yes. I don't know about Australia and Africa, but they probably have appeared there too. They have been appearing everywhere around the world, making themselves visibly known for the last 2 or 3 months. So everything that is transpiring in the world is fitting with the scripture, and it's definitely highly indicating that it is all going to come true. And like I said, the only thing left to come true is the arrival of Messiah with the armies of the heavens. So my perception on this is that the armies of the heavens are stationing themselves here for preliminary observations, and that when this started, the authorities of different governments of the world started sending out their own drone craft to monitor them, to assess what is going on. I would assume undoubtedly, if the good beings are to express what they're doing, that they probably already have, and this is probably just being kept secret to help keep the public in, harmony and not going bonkers. Okay, which I would agree to and shake hands on. Yes, let's do that to keep peace for now. Okay, but we cannot deny that there's all sorts of extraterrestrial disclosure movements going on, UFO disclosure, and the danger in this, it's not a danger itself, but so many people don't know the full deal and truth about things because of the secrecy and non-interference with the beings itself, the situation of non-interference with the beings themselves. So many people don't know anything amidst the public, at least, that lots of members of the public, including key figureheads like Mr. Greer and so forth, they come up with theories based on what they perceive as the evidence. And now what we have are pockets of different theories, some of them very, very wild and out there. But almost all of the theories exclude God from the scenario, exclude the Bible from the scenario, and they're only looking at it from a watered down perspective of aliens are showing up, they're going to arrive, they're going to reveal that they are the creators, and that religion was basically something they created to help manage humankind. All of these things are very, very dangerous, and these are all theories being spun by people because they don't know 100% of the facts. Like, nobody knows 100% of the facts, right? You can't blame them. They're just trying to come up with an understanding. But all of this is developing, okay? There's going to be, there's been profound things disclosed from Jake Barber with psionics and this and that there, and all of these things are quite dangerous, and they have very dangerous potentials. If people abuse psionics, it could cause chaos on the planet. And if that was to come out into the open, that human beings, some of them at least, have psionic abilities, that alone would cause a very chaotic ripple effect across the earth. So we have just too much stuff all occurring all at once, and talk of a big event happening between now and 2027 involving ET arrivals. There's so much going on. If people don't realize that the end days is upon us, I feel sorry for you. But very few people listen to me. Very few people find my videos. But at the end of the day, we all have to prepare. And the way you get prepared, according to the Bible, is you have to reform from your sin, become a new person, a good person who is reborn from above, in the sense that you have become a new person inside and out. Well, you can't change your body, but you become a new person from the inside out, who doesn't want to do bad things and who doesn't do bad things. Become a good person. That's the real religion from God. That is what Jesus taught. That's what the Bible always taught. Be a good person. That is the law that we're under, everyone around the world, even the members of Judaism, even though they have their own additional laws as well. The main core law for everybody is become a good person. Put your bad behind you and become a good person. If you do that, your bad sins will be forgiven by God. This is what he promises in the Bible from Old to New, from Tanakh to New Testament. And that's what everybody has to focus on. Don't make physical preparations, make spiritual preparations, because this is definitely upon us. But I've got to get going, folks. So God bless you all, and everybody take care.